Hi. Good boy. All right, guys. How am I gonna strap this thing down? It keeps moving around. No, but for real, I found this fella just on the side of the road. Look at him. I don't know what he's doing with his tail right now. I think he's scared because he's up high. This is Norman. As you can see, he's in rough shape, guys. We're gonna try and help him out here. Okay, let's see if we can walk and talk. But yeah, man, I really love this truck stop, guys. This is like not necessarily the place I get my most amount of fuel from, because I get a better deal on it up the road. But whenever I cross over into Virginia, I really like to stop here because they have a Dunkin' Donuts. And I really like Dunkin' Donuts. I'm not really a Starbucks person, but I love Dunkin' Donuts. And when I'm over the road, I can't drink coffee because it makes me have to go to the bathroom, and I don't mean just take a leak either. It makes me real upset stomach situation. So I can only drink coffee from Dunkin' Donuts or really anywhere when I know I'm gonna be at home that night, because I'll have to go to the bathroom about 6 times before it's said and done. But I'm on my way home right now, because I had a hard day. Basically, what happened was my regular truss load this week got delayed, which has been happening a lot lately with the holidays coming up, and we're going to be stacked up pretty good come January. But I tried to schedule another load, just kind of a little more local type thing, running out of Lawrenceville, Virginia, going down to Myrtle Beach. There's a load of brick, and I don't have brick screens, so every time I try to book a load of brick, I always ask if it needs brick screens, because they don't always. Sometimes they have them shrink wrapped. But anyway, so I go on out there because the broker tells me no, pretty sure that they're all shrink wrapped. And I should have known better, because I've driven past this place 1,000 times, because I used to have a little piece of property down the street from it. So I know the place I'm going to, and I've seen it, but I've never picked anything up there. And I just kind of took her word for it. I figured, well, I don't know everything that they sell. They might sell a different type of brick that doesn't require the screens because they shrink wrap. And she even specifically said that she thought that they shrink wrap. So I head up there, and from my house, it's about 50 miles to get up to this place. So I go way up there, 50 miles. I pull in there, and they start loading me, and it's just regular brick. No damn shrink wrap on it. And I'm like, well, that isn't what I was expecting. And I was looking at it, in the bottom of it, I should have taken a video. The bricks in the bottom of these cubes were so loose that I could take them out with my hand, like at the bottom. I was like, there is no way that this shit is gonna ride. I figured, well, let me see if I can even strap this down safely. So I took my dunnage, I threw it on top of these brick cubes, trying to do what I could, but that really wasn't solving my problem, because my biggest problem was that these bricks in the bottom were gonna fall out. I was like, there's just no way. I spent probably a good hour trying to find some way to strap this, trying to see if I could get it tight enough to where it would squeeze the whole cube down and hold the bottom bricks in, but it just wasn't gonna work. So I called the broker, and I said to the broker, I said, hey, I asked you guys on a recorded line if I needed brick screens, and you said no. And I said, it seems only right that I should get a tow new charge on this one. Which a tow new charge is only 250 bucks. It's not gonna cover all my losses, but it'll help. And this guy, mind you, this broker's had some guy from the Middle East calling me incessantly. Called me 4 times while I was out there just trying to deal with all this. And it was really getting on my nerves. And then this guy that I was dealing with, he was American. He's American. And he was like, Okay, well, call back tomorrow and get your tow new charge. I said, well, I ain't calling back tomorrow. Like, it's on my truck now. And if you want it off my truck now, you're gonna have to give me a tow new now. Well, it looks like we got TMC in front of us getting unloaded. And over here is these rolls. I think that's what I'm picking up. I saw somewhere on there where it said rolls. We'll see. It might just be regular shingles. Either one's fine, but I've never hauled rolls before. I'm kind of interested in them. And I think I'll put my dunnage on top of these rolls to spread out the straps a little bit. I think that would work really nice. So, but we'll have to just see what we see. He said, pull up by that shed over there. I came over here. This is the only thing I saw. It looks like a shed. I turned up in here because there's a big long lane that runs down, but it just stops. And you know, go bend around a bunch of corners to get in here. I really hope that they don't try to make me pull down like that, because I would hate to back up out of this spot if I don't have to. But I looked at my paperwork again. It says black heritage shingles. Well, these shingles here say heritage on them and they're black, so I assume that's some of what I'm taking. It says 1 pallet of TPO roll, and these say TPO and they look like rolls, so I guess I'm getting a pallet of that. So maybe I can get them to put the pallet on top of the shingles, and maybe it'll get me so I don't have to use quite as many straps. I like that, so we'll see. All right, didn't end up with any of them TPO rolls, just ended up with 16 pallets of shingles. It's supposed to weigh about 45,000, so a little bit lighter than the heaviest thing I've ever hauled with this, or that I typically haul aside from shingles. So that's kind of nice. We'll see if that holds up to be true, because I found a lot of times these guys will tell you something and ends up being different. But loaded it up pretty nice. Used most of the strap winches on this trailer, but made it work. So now on our way to Greenville, South Carolina. Man, look at this old place. This is the way they used to be, I guess, before my time. I came here once before and I forgot that it was a place like this. Okay, so the Dodge is finally back at my house. For those of you that maybe don't know, if you look back at some of my older videos, I had been running this truck as a hotshot truck before I started running the Cabover. And you know, I had a 40-foot gooseneck behind this and pretty much run a lot of the same stuff, just lighter weights. You know, I was plated for 40,000 on this truck. But anyways, around the beginning of August, I started having issues with the transmission, and it culminated in the long run with losing fourth gear. And I swapped this transmission with a used one I bought for about $2,000. And that used transmission worked good for a little while, but then started having problems with the valve body. I put a billet valve body in that transmission. The original valve body had been cracked all over, and it ran amazing with that billet valve body for about a week and a half. And then I ended up losing the underdrive clutch coming down a ramp with my exhaust brake on loaded. And so I had to put yet another transmission in it, and that took about a month. So this is an ongoing thing. I've ran it, it's been in the shop pretty much a third of the time. It'd run for a week, and then I'd have to put it back in the shop for 2 weeks, on since August. And you know, this thing really almost put me out of business. I got another transmission under warranty, and I had it swapped out here locally, and that warranty doesn't cover the labor. So between the buying the transmission, all the labor, and that valve body, which was about $2,000,
It was a valve body and solenoid pack that I did. Altogether, I am somewhere in the neighborhood of being about, I don't know, I'd say pretty damn close to 10 grand messing with the transmission since August, and it still doesn't run. This most recent transmission, the warranty replacement, they went and they put it in. It took them almost a month to do it because Car Guts, the place that I got the transmission from, took forever to get me another one. And then they gave us a cracked tail shaft housing, you know, the housing that goes between the transmission and the transfer case. So we had to get another one of those from them. And now it has like no first gear. Essentially what happens is you go to put it in first gear and it'll lock up good, and then you go to take off and then it will just decide to let go and go into limp mode. The previous shop had done a quick learn on this thing with an Autel scanner, and they messed with it and they messed with it, and then they wanted to send it to the Dodge dealership, which I didn't want to do because I'm just not trying to disparage anybody here, but I have not yet met a competent technician at a Chrysler dealership so far, and I've dealt with a few of them now. So instead, they went and they charged me $1,400, gave me back a truck that's actually kind of in worse condition than when I brought it there, but that's not necessarily all their fault. But I have it here at my house, and I borrowed my buddy's Snap-on scanner, and I'm letting the transmission come up to temperature. I've cleared the codes in it. Of course, it has a first gear ratio error because it's not locking up the underdrive clutch in first gear. So I'm going to go ahead and let this come up to about 100 degrees in the transmission, and then I'm going to go and do a quick learn on it with the Snap-on scanner and see if that does us any better.
So we did the quick learn again with the Snap-on scanner, and that didn't fix anything. I was also able to do a first gear clutch test, which the truck failed. So that kind of indicates to me that most likely it has a bad first gear clutch. So in the 68 RFE, it combines 2 clutches at a time for each gear, and for first gear it's low reverse and first. So it seems like when it comes out of low reverse, it just doesn't have any first gear clutch. Long story short, we weren't able to get it working, and then I had to fight with the salvage yard I got the transmission from, because I asked them to send me another transmission, which they refused even though I'm under warranty, and then they didn't want to refund my money, and it came to this whole thing where essentially I had to threaten legal action against them to even get them to refund me the money, and they're not even refunding my labor. So I'm way behind on this deal, but that is the story with that. I think what I would like to do is find somebody that can rebuild the transmission, just put new clutches in it and do it that way. But I don't want to spend $5,000 on transmission. I'm so deep into this already. I really don't want to spend that kind of money on it. So if it comes to that, I will just try and find another used transmission. But if anybody has any suggestions on a good place that will rebuild a 68 RFE transmission, preferably in North Carolina or Virginia, throw it down in the comments, and I'll reach out to them and see what we can do.
Take it easy. Take it easy. Good boy, Norman. That's it. It's all gone. It's all gone, Norman. You ate it all. You little piglet. That's it. That's all there is. That's it. There's not more underneath it. Go fish.